Alrighty. Uh, mm, hey, what's up, Daniel? Good morning. Yeah, I'm just gonna play Champions of Olympia. I think there was nothing else to do. I'm not sure. I have been online for like 5 minutes, sending out gatherers, cleaning some action points. Yeah, I've kind of fixed my rhythm. So I went to bed at 7:30 p.m. and I slept pretty much right away, and I got up at 6:30 a.m. So I guess you can say I fixed my rhythm finally. Um so let's see. I think there is so I gave the egg event, I think 10 tries, spins, whatever, and 10 pops, I guess. 10 or 15? Oh yeah, 15. And we hit the 10 spot on the blueprint fragments, so I actually have the concealed dagger blueprint ready, pretty much. Now we just need a material. However, the one thing is, I'm not sure if I would rather wait for a Horn of Fury. I'm not yet sure. Most likely what's going to happen is I'm gonna have the material and then I just can't stay away and just craft the dagger. That's most likely what is going to happen. When is it going to be ready? Well, sometime when KVK, like right around the time when KVK fighting starts, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm really not. All I can say is I think. Well, actually, I might be wrong with this, but I think we are going to take the very last queue for KVK. Hey, look, we can put a skill into Joan. Yeah, so it should be ready when the fighting is going to start. Whenever that will be. Simply because of all the... Wait, did I think I misspelled. Oh, had a typo. With all the material you get from... Wait, what? Jeez. Is it because my fingers are cold? I'm not sure. Okay. So yeah, it's really freaking cold outside. Which one? That's some. Well, we're gonna have to use some skill resets anyway. So yeah, when the fighting starts, it will be ready simply because of the materials I get from the barbarians and stuff. So that really shouldn't be an issue. Oh, that is really slow music. Come on, man. Uh, no copyright music. Even though I don't trust this shit. So many times it said no copyright music and then it wasn't. I heard this like a million times. 10-hour gaming music mix. The problem is nowadays people listen to completely different music for gaming than compared to, I don't know, 10 years ago. Okay, I guess we can let this play. Okay, we have the equipment sorted. Wait, well, who cares, I guess. I changed the formations. I do that like every month to see like what ornaments did I get, because like I really don't give a shit about them. And I forgot to change it back, but who cares? Oh look, it's S20. We have just been in KVK with them. And yeah, they are not good. They are not good. I mean, it's a very young kingdom, so... Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Do you see it? Saladin, yeah. Yeah, jeez. And yeah, of course, we have really strong opponents. Some Navskis, Joans, Zhang Yus. Oh shit. That's gonna be tough. And what is my team? We have a Sun Tzu. It's gonna be really frigging tough. But I guess the good thing is I have nothing else but myself to blame. I'm okay with that. Did we kill all three? I feel like we only killed two, but... Okay, this is not good. You don't want two people at this flag. Yeah. This is stupid. Wait, what did he do anyway? Why was... Oh, was he losing so he came here? Yeah, well, I guess fair enough. That's not bad. That's better than going back and healing. Oh shit. This is not going to be good for me. It's a lot of wasted time. I mean, unless he doesn't have equipment, but it looks... Yeah, okay. He's actually hitting quite hard. Ms. Manevsky, please pop your ultimate. Please be stupid. No, he doesn't. She, it. This doesn't look too good. What is happening? Okay, what is happening? Why are... Wait. Why did two players go mid? I seem to not understand. And we are losing this one. Like, guys, you need to move. Yeah, I'm more or less trying to push. I want to go back to gold simply because for the point cap to increase. I don't care about the ranking itself and the medal that I get. I really don't care. Simply because, like, the 2 times I have gotten diamond, I didn't feel like I didn't do anything. I just spent more time than others in the event. Why the fuck are you coming here? Fuck off. What's wrong with you? But simply, yeah, like I said, for the increase of the point cap, I would actually like to go to gold. Like, what? How stupid are you? Yeah, surrender. What the fuck's wrong? So he, she, it probably doesn't have ultimate. So maybe I can win even with my Saladin. Holding on to your ultimate? Yeah, I usually do that. Because people will pop it right away. So you basically know when everybody's ultimate is ready, right? No, I'm not winning again, I think. Oh, actually, his Joan is really getting crushed. Even without my Nevsky. Damn, I'm winning again, am I? I don't think I can kill his Nevsky. And why did the surrender not work? Wait, come on, guys. Like, are you like, come on. Stop being so like try hard. What's wrong with you? So see, this is great. Occupying 2 players at this flag. The by far least valuable flag. Occupying 2 players there. That's actually good. But yeah, they don't wanna surrender. What the fuck? What? Why? Are we going to sit it out? I think I'm just gonna sit it. How is my rogue doing? Well, I mean, he's 70 and he does have some green and blue PvP equipment. But with rogue, you know, it takes a whole lot of time. I mean, by far the most complex class in World of Warcraft. At least, you know, when it comes to the mechanics. I guess the ideology behind the class is almost the easiest, but just from a mechanical standpoint, by far the most elaborate. So I want to make sure before I am queuing up for anything significant, I really have it down. Because, I mean, I haven't played Rogue in, like, what, 13 years? Let's make sure I have a lineup. Yeah, I do. Okay, this game didn't happen, okay? So this is the first game. Kinda like, what is she called? Sylvia or something? The Call of Duty hacker. Who like plays 200 games, and the one game she wins, she's like, yeah, this was the first game, and then, you know, for the video, for the VOD, she cuts it up and actually makes it look like it was the first game. And that's even her with like hacking and cheating and whatnot. Alright, let's go. Yeah, but what is her name again? You hate her? Actually, I kind of like her, okay, in a weird way, because like she is an embodiment of everything that is wrong with this whole YouTube fuck up and like gaming in general, and she's just the embodiment of it, and I do kind of respect the fact that she's completely abusing it. Because, you know, like, even when you look at Rise of Kingdoms YouTubers, you see that all the time, but they are completely hiding it. I mean, she's not hiding it. Yeah, sure, she says she isn't doing it, but I mean, that's part of the play, right? It's absolutely obvious she's actually doing it. Everybody knows it. And so, you know, I don't know. In some way, I put some respect on it. Because why not abuse a system? I mean, if you are in court, you are doing everything to abuse the system, right? To be not found guilty. So just for fun, this is not a good play, but just for fun, I'm gonna try to kill both players. It's not a good play, this is like a complete waste of time, but just for fun. Look, there is a alpha flag. Hey baby. My favorite red hair. Actually, is she? Yeah, I think she is. Boom. It's a lot of kills. What is going on across the map? Like, what? What is going on? Wait, where did this... Wait. Where did this motherfucker go? Wait, what? Are both of them running away? Please don't, just you popped my ultimate. But where did this motherfucker go? Why wasn't he staying here? I walked back, and as soon as I was here, he was actually gone. But he wasn't killed. Damn, this guy has some firepower, it looks like. And I don't know, maybe I actually have to check Sargon. He seems pretty legit. Especially, you know, considering you only need him at 555, he seems pretty legit. I think if it was a commander you have to expertise, I guess he wouldn't be interesting at all. But yeah, just the fact you keep him at 555 makes him very interesting. But like in general, to be specific, like I'm not gonna go for any other commander after Joan. I'm gonna save my sculptures. somebody back? No. Okay, we're gonna lose that. Wait, he's actually coming back. Okay. Oh, he has ultimate shit. Oh. Yeah, got crushed. Why not run away? You don't want to run away in this situation. Running away actually takes more time. So I could run here, but there's players and I don't have health. And he can follow me because he already kind of got the flag, right? If I'm running back, I'm actually actively wasting time because then I spend like 1 minute until I did heal up and everything. So actually just dying is quicker and you keep occupying this person. So in most cases, not in all of them, but in most cases, it's actually better to just die. And I mean, people are concerned about kills, and if you are concerned about kills, then you are fucking stupid. Like, I guess not. I guess it depends. Like, I mean, you don't have to be try hard at winning, right? I guess you can play for the kills. So is somebody... Ah, Jesus. Okay, yes. 1 March, nice. So see, for example, now I wasn't going to heal, I'm just going here. And I can actually make sure, maybe, that we are not going to lose this, because I have ultimate and everything ready. So instead of going back, wasting those 30-45 seconds, I'm just going into a next fight with everything I have. And most likely I can secure this flag. Yeah, he's running away. But he's staying here, I think? No. Okay, that's a win. It started weird. I didn't think we are going to win. Yeah, how many... Oh, I mean, the season just started, right? So, yeah, we still have a lot of AP potions to get. So, 1 more, then we are at, what, silver? In a perfect case, we would go to gold today. Hey, look, it's 2K. I swear, if I ever leave my kingdom, I'm going to 2K or 2100. Yeah, I know somebody in, well, I know a couple of people in 2K, and out of the people I know, one of them is kind of a whale. He, like, let's say he's a big spender. And one other is a free-to-play, and both absolutely love the kingdom. And, I mean, that's a very good sign, right? If you have a free-to-play and a spender. And, I mean, the free-to-play player is in a smaller alliance. So not... What is the main alliance? RA or... RD, I'm not sure. But that's a good sign to me. And 2100 just seems like a very, I don't know, like, how can, seems like a pretty stable and like, how can, seems stable and they have ambitions, but in, like, I feel like they wouldn't give up their, like, let's say, personality in terms to reach goals, which I think is a very good approach in Rise of Kingdoms. Because I mean, if you look at other kingdoms, like the ones that, you know, where Asians just zero everybody, so everybody is going to leave, so they can be by themselves. Then you look at kingdoms like 556 or 1228, like those kingdoms, like they are in drama every single day, simply because like they give up all personality and everything in order to reach goals. And most of the time they actually will never reach their goals, simply because like in Rise of Kingdoms you cannot try to play a numbers game, like a statistics game. You cannot do that because there's just not enough context for it. So for example, you know, because you have 100 million power more in Champions of Olympia than your opponent team, doesn't mean you win, right? Like, that's not how it works. Just like in football, for example, if your team is worth 100 million more, doesn't mean you win. So I think many times in Rise of Kingdoms you have this issue where people feel like, oh yeah, we are a big kingdom, we have a lot of power, maybe you even have a lot of kill points, and then they think, oh yeah, now we are like superior to like our peers, and they completely lose. But at this point you have already like thrown out all kinds of people and everything in order to achieve whatever your goal was. What is this person doing? Are you stupid? Why didn't he just... I don't get it. What was the attempt here? What was the play? I mean, obviously, if this person just runs into this direction, I'm not gonna follow at all. So why would you just run a circle and lose HP? Yeah, I was about to say somebody's coming. Again, now I'm gonna get... Wait, was this person standing here waiting? Like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just go up here and take this flag? Like, how's... Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, fortunately, I don't have to understand. But what is my team doing? Why is everybody down here and in mid? When you have when you split the flags, 2-2. Like, why do you have 3 players down here? Doesn't make sense, but okay. Because of the apple? Yeah, but you don't send when you split the flags 2-2. Like, why do you send 3 players for the apple? It doesn't make sense. Like, let it... If you have to play the apple, okay, fine, no issue. But like, let somebody pick it up and then let him go and like go for the flags. It doesn't make a lot of sense splitting the flags and then having 3 players down here, because obviously you're gonna lose all the flags. Like in a perfect scenario, you actually lose all flags. Whenever you have a disadvantage somewhere on the map, you are just supposed to lose all your flags. So I'm not sure if it's wise to let's see. Yeah, he's fighting. Oh, I misplaced that. Oh my god. Okay, backing up. I'm not sure why. He would have won pretty easily, I would say. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure he would have won. I mean, one more skill and Manevsky is dead, right? Wait, shit, I don't have enough time. I think I have to leave. Oh, wait, Oh, yeah, no, I have to leave. We gonna, like, they are going to get the apple. Somebody is here. We have no opponent here. Let's go here. Yeah, you see? Yeah, they got this flag. So now you would have, if I'm going down here, you have like 4 players down here, and then you're gonna lose all the flags. Yeah, no, playing for the apple is fine, no question about it, but you cannot, like, give up everything for a single apple. That's the issue. And I mean, obviously, it's fairly difficult to coordinate everything. I mean, communication is obsolete in Champions of Olympia. So, yeah, sure, it is difficult. But just in general, yeah, like making a play for the apple, you should never give up everything else. Like make sure, for example, when the flags are split, make sure one player can send 3 marches to get another flag, and at that point you get the apple. So you have some map pressure while getting the apple. Then it's a safe play. It's a good play. A play where you get an advantage. Because now what happens is the opponent has to send marches to the middle, or not has to, but they will. And if they don't, you just get the apple for free, right? So they kind of have to send marches to the middle to make a play on the apple, while you apply pressure on the map. And that usually doesn't happen. That's why so many times the team that is really dedicated to the apple is actually losing. Yeah, no, you know, when I say like, fuck you, you're stupid, yada yada, it's not, you know, I'm not serious about it. Like, I do understand most people in Rise of Kingdoms, they are not there for, you know, like elaborate gaming or whatever. And I do appreciate that. I mean, that's the reason why I play Rise of Kingdoms. When you play World of Warcraft or League of Legends, whatever, coming to Rise of Kingdoms is super relaxing. Because, you know, playing WoW or League is pretty stressful. Like, yeah, sure, you get some enjoyment and everything, but it is also super stressful. So, you know, I understand that most people play it to relax and, you know, just waste time and, I don't know, like maybe for a minute get away from everyday life. And obviously that's fine. So, I'm not serious when I say like people are stupid or whatever. I'm serious, but I don't, you know, mean it. I guess I don't mean it personal or whatever you wanna call it. No, what I said yesterday is, how can, you know, it's about being pretentious. If you are watching YouTube videos all the time in order to learn how the game, to play the game, then of course there's a certain expectancy. Like, if you are watching videos all the time to learn how to play the game, then I expect you to actually perform in the game. Like, then you cannot say Golden Kingdom is difficult, because I mean, you have seen how I did it yesterday, and there wasn't even a question about finishing it first attempt, right? And it's like, you could have probably even blindfolded me and I would still have finished it. And that's what I, as a gamer, would expect from people when they actually watch videos to learn it and everything. Because that tells me you have somewhat like higher ambitions, right? Oh shit. Okay, give me a second. Oh fuck. Yeah, but somebody, you know, who is, like I said, is playing it to chill, relax and everything, and is just, you know, like going along and just like knows the very basic stuff about the game and is fine with that, and yeah, just wants to have a good time, then, you know, I would never be like, oh fuck, you are stupid. Never, never. Like, you cannot, in gaming in general, you cannot expect people who don't have the same ambitions as you to perform on your level, right? Which sounds a little bit arrogant because I'm saying on your level, like I'm some supreme being, but that's obviously not what I mean. The unfortunate, or like the difference between Rise of Kingdoms and a game like League of Legends is, so for example, when you play League of Legends and you are playing on, I don't know, like Silver 5 or even on Iron or something, and then you are like, oh, these people are stupid, then the question is, yeah, but why are you playing on their level? Like, if you are so much better, then why are you not able to push your ranking? And that's obviously not the case in Rise of Kingdoms. Like, you are playing with everybody, right? You are playing with people from all walks of life, and that's the main difference. So you kind of have to get rid of that gamer bravado, I would say. Yeah, I mean, you know, most people are super friendly anyway. So, just to give you an example, actually, that makes me think. To give you an example, my girlfriend, she started playing and everything, right? And then she did a mistake. What was it? I think it was a flag. It was a one true flag, and she didn't understand. So what she did was, she was sending a march with one commander, but a full march. And, well, actually, I think the first time she just sent a full march. And then people were like, oh, it's a one true flag and you cannot do this and yada yada. But they were friendly about it. And then she sent a full march with one commander instead of two commanders, which also was wrong, right? So they were laughing it off and explaining it and everything. Now, do a mistake as on the same on the same level in another game, and people are just going to expel you from everything, from participating, whatever. So people are pretty friendly about stuff like that, which, you know, is absolutely great. So let's actually scout her and just to know about our resources. So I'm gonna be AFK for like 4 or 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Face to face, I found my pain beneath the lies and broken dreams. Lost the love I had in me. It tore me apart, fade away. I felt so lost, but I held on to what I had. For what it's worth, if you feel low, just know that you can. Yes, you can. There's life in love that you hold. Rise above and let it glow. Just know that it's never too late to make a change. Crash and burn, I found myself beneath the emptiness. Wanting more, I let it go. Holding on to love. Breaking through, I feel alive. For once in my life, I'ma live by the want to be all I can. Let the rest just crash and burn. Crash and burn. Oh, 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 let it crash and burn. This one for the person who feels alone. This one for the hero who has no home. This one for the one who live for hope. Changing better days. Pick your head up, keep on fighting, living, loving. Make your mind up. If you want it, take it, fly away, soaring high above the clouds. Hear the voices calling out. All you want is love. Crash and burn, I found myself beneath the emptiness. Make your mind up. Wanting more, I let it go. Holding on to love. Breaking through, I feel alive. For once in my life, I'ma live by the want to be all I can. Let the rest just crash and burn. Let the rest just crash and burn.
Yeah, I'm back. What are you doing anyway? Oh, you went up. Okay, nice. So 333 and 250. That's 665 and 6. 665 and 6. That's actually... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Six, 6, 5 and 6. You are playing Elden Ring? No, I never played it. I know it's a really, really good game, but I never got into Souls games. No, it's just not my type of game, I would say. I do like watching the challenges and stuff, like the God challenge. But yeah, no, I can't really play it. For the last couple of days. Wait, actually, so that's 1.1, 1.1. Oh, 8, and I guess 1.1. So for example, for the last couple of days, I went back to Wildlands and Breakpoint. That's Ghost Recon. And even there, like it's just I'm kind of impatient. So I'm playing it. So I really like the game, but I'm also just playing it to like I guess exercise patience in gaming. Because you remember in WoW arenas, I like setups that are very tactical instead of like in your face. You know, like setting up a proper kill window and everything. So I don't like, for example, playing Warrior Demon Hunter or something like that. I like playing RMP. I like playing Mage Warlock and stuff like that, right? And I did realize that nowadays, even when I play a lineup like that or a combo like that, I am fairly impatient and just constantly try to apply pressure and kill somebody. Yeah, I guess it's also a factor that I'm just older and not as much into the essence anymore. So for example, just in general, my awareness has dropped significantly. So for example, looking at my damage rotation while looking at who has a trinket ready and looking at who is spell casting what at the same time, that's so freaking difficult nowadays. Like back then, like 15 years ago, it was completely automatic. So that's 2.6, 2.6, 1.2, that's 2, and 1.8, I guess. So we are actually almost back to where we were in the last KVK. Holy crap. So I can actually, what I'm doing now, I can sustain that. And if Joan is ready, maybe next KVK I can actually go for the 30 million achievement. The reason why, or like not the reason why, but I really don't like the idea of going all out in a KVK to achieve a kill goal, like the 30 million achievement, and then running out of resources. Because I don't like the idea of recovery KVKs. It's fucking stupid. It's really a design flaw. Because, well, why would you waste 2 months in the game staying away from the main content in order to then play the game again? Like play the main content again. It doesn't make sense. It's such a crucial design flaw. Make a video about it? I guess we can. I mean, we could do it right now. Should we do it? Like, constructive criticism, I guess. Not just talking about, you know, like 1v1 KVKs and stupid stuff like that, and like crystal tech monetization, because like obviously that is not going to change. Like there has to be a change in Lilith's like philosophy and ambitions in order to change crystal tech. So I guess yeah, we so I'm gonna do it right now, and then I'm gonna cut it up and edit, you know, edit it into a video. Because whenever I'm having the stream running, I'm actually also recording it. No, that's done. So for one, either one of them, streaming or recording, you are using the CPU, like the software encoder, and for the other one, you are using the hardware encoder. So that way, you basically have the same quality. I mean, depending on your hardware, but you basically have the same quality for both of them. There are other techniques as well, but that's how I'm doing it. Like that's because I'm not losing any performance at all while doing both of them. So for example, what a lot of people do is they just stream regularly and then they download the video, which you can do directly on Twitch and YouTube, but you are losing quality because then you have to decode it, encode it again, and like render it and everything, right? And then you upload it, then you are losing quality again because YouTube is applying their standards to the video, so you are actually losing quality. So this way, I can make sure that I basically have the same quality on both of them. So anyway, constructive criticism. Okay, so some time ago, I was asking people in my kingdom for like what would they wish Lilith was changing, because as always, I am extremely critical of the other YouTubers, right? They talk about, you know, the community and what we want to have change and everything, but then they are just saying what they want, which is stupid because like they don't have any perspective at all other than talking from the perspective of a big whale who is capable of doing whatever they want. So for example, when so I'm sorry to shedding on him again, but if Chisco is saying like we need more resources, it's kind of weird because like he doesn't have resource issues. I mean, every single KVK he gets like 100 million kills. Like how is that any perspective for the community? That's like 0.1% of the player base who can actually do this, right? And they are so far up their ass that they are not able to look at the game from somebody else's perspective. Which means somebody else means anybody who is not able to get 100 million kills every single KVK. If 100 million is even enough, I would assume most of them or some of them even get more than 100 million. So let me start with one that I found really interesting. I have very bad eyes. I'm basically blind on my left eye. I have like 2% vision. That's one of the reasons why I would never play on mobile. Along with some other reasons, but it's one of them. So I can't see stuff on mobile. Now, every single time I was on mobile, for whatever reason, so for example, sending out gatherers, that's what I do on mobile. And like pretty literally the only thing I would ever do on mobile. But when I'm there and I see an alliance marker, I cannot read it. So I, in my head, am thinking, oh yeah, it's because I have bad eyes. But one person actually said, I wish they would change So you could on mobile increase the size of font just in general, like really globally make everything bigger. You can make the font bigger in the chat, but that's it. So you can't read shit on mobile. And I thought this was really interesting because I didn't know that is a problem for everybody. Because I do remember I had one colleague at work who was playing too, and he didn't have an issue seeing stuff. Then a whole lot of people crystal tag, obviously, but like I said before, that is not going to change. In order for crystal tag to receive any changes, there would have to be a change in Lilith's philosophy and ambitions. So I think Lilith is content with where the game is. If they had the ambition to make this game transcend the mobile market and actually become a like real big name in the gaming atmosphere, then yeah, sure, then they would have to change it, because the way the game is right now, it cannot transcend mobile gaming. There is just like 0% chance, if at all. Like even 0% is quite a lot. There would have to be just a general change in Lilith's philosophy and ambitions. If Crystal Tag was changed, what you would have to do is, Crystal Tag is a good idea. You need Crystal Tag. The problem is Crystal Tag is pretty much based on money. What you would have to do is you make Crystal Tag be a thing of performance and effort, right? Because your best ability is availability, right? That's like in all of sports the case. So what you want is people to farm a lot, kill a lot of barbarians and stuff, and that's how you get the vast majority of your crystals. You could still have, for example, the what is it called, Mountain Warfare bundle. Nobody gives a shit about it. Nobody cares. But having the pop-up bundles, having the Mountain Warfare bundles, having the tokens for your crystals for the next KVK, because people who are spending money will always have the maximum amount of those tokens. And all of that combined doesn't make sense because you have a matchmaking rating. So you make the matchmaking rating basically obsolete through this monetization. So make it a thing where people actually actively in the KVK have to farm crystals through doing all the things that an active player does, like killing barbarians, farming resources, occupying points of interest on the map and stuff like that. Then another thing is, one player actually also said this, and this is really a pet peeve for me, it's the visual presentation. This really fucking bothers me because it is such a substantial issue. This applies to everything, but especially on PC. So I'm playing on a 27-inch monitor, and I'm fighting for, let's say, 6 hours. At some point, you're getting colorblind to some extent. Everybody who actually works with colors, like spray painting, stuff like that, knows this issue. You are standing in front of a white wall and you are spray painting it white. At some point, you are not going to be able to see anymore which spots you actually haven't covered. Now, in Rise of Kingdoms, you have the issue that during open field fighting, you have a red. So these are two armies, right? These two barbarians. So you have the red army and you have the blue army. Now both of them pop king skill. Now you have a kind of orange and a kind of red, like visual indicator on the marches, right? Which is this like red shimmer on all the marches. Now, especially when it turns night, you are not able to see shit anymore. You are basically not even able to distinguish the enemy, the opponent from your mates. But the biggest issue is when you target an enemy, you are not able to see if it's red or blue. You're just not. It even goes to the point where you have so many kind of same-ish colors that the game tries to offset the contrast. And what happens is it shows you like a purple-ish color. And that way you're just not able anymore to distinguish opponents from alliance mates. And or like just campmates, whatever, like allied marches. And that basically that's such a fundamental issue because it means you cannot really fight anymore. Like, yeah, sure, this sounds just a little dramatic, but basically it renders you incapable of properly fighting, which is pretty stupid if you think about it, because like that's the main thing, right? So how could this be changed? Well, just in general, you don't need a visual indicator of the king skill that is so prevalent. You just generally don't need that. Then you could change the colors, because having everything just blue and red is stupid. It's absolutely stupid, because obviously at some point you're gonna have issues with, like, overlaying colors all the time and stuff like that. Then for the interface in, like, from a gaming standards point, the interface is extremely bad in Rise of Kingdoms, like extremely bad. Okay, let me read a message. Hey, what's up, TSN? Hey, TSN. I actually saw you're the king of your kingdom, huh? Solution: make the higher level barbs and forts available in home kingdom. Oh yeah, true. That would actually, just in general, raising the level, because it's always been the same, right? Which it seems weird, because where I actually agree with what Chisco said is you have a problem where you are spending more resources and everything, but the income stayed the same. Now it changed a little bit with the ornaments, because you are able to get a gold quicker, but that's not enough. That's absolutely not enough. Because back then, when the game came out, we only were fighting with one single march, right? Because you could only send one march through the gate. And now you, like, Lilith kind of wants you to fight with 7 marches, but you still get the same resources as 4 years ago. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's also a design flaw, just in general. So yeah, for the interface, Champions of Olympia is a very good example of this. So every time somebody uses their... Oh, look, there is somebody coming. Every time somebody uses their ultimate, it pops like a really big, flashy, whatever it is, in the middle of... basically in the middle of the screen. This is completely unnecessary. This is not fucking Dragon Ball Z. This is Rise of Kingdoms. So why do you need this? It is inherently irrelevant information, because this happens all over the map. It doesn't matter where somebody is using their skill, it will be shown to me. But what do... I'm on top left right now. Why does it matter for me when these two are using the ultimate? So not even is it irrelevant information, it also completely clutters up my screen. We're gonna see it in a minute when the ultimate is ready. So this happens with way too many things in the game. So for example, getting the victory and defeat whatever messages on the bottom right. It's absolutely stupid. Why do you have this? Because at the same position you actually have the indicator that tells you when you are being rallied, when you are being targeted by a open field march and stuff like that, or like in Ark of Osiris when a rally is going on. You have that at exactly your same position. So now you see right in the middle you have this stupid flashy animation that tells me absolutely nothing, because I know I popped my ultimate. So why are you showing it for me, and why are you showing it for all the people throughout the map? It is irrelevant information, but it clutters up the screen. Then this monster kill, enemy kill, blah blah blah. Like, you don't need that. Or if you have it at a neutral position where there's not other things going on. It doesn't make sense. The screen in general in Rise of Kingdoms is so cluttered up. It really freaks me out sometimes. So then, like I said, the resources, like compared to 4 years ago, we are spending like what, 20 times the resources. But resources, like the income, stayed pretty much the same. Like, you know, there wasn't a significant change, let's say it like that, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we have change. Whoa, what am I doing? Change font. Yeah, my microphone is in the way. Change font size. Because people on mobile can not read alliance markers and stuff like that. Why? Did I see a march here? What is this person doing? So yeah, and I'm probably screwing up this match for my team, but we got more important stuff to do. Change font size. I would say think about Crystal Pack, because like I said, Lilith is not just gonna change it. It needs a philosophy and ambition change for Lilith to actually change it. And I do kind of understand it, because I'm gonna be honest. If I'm the CEO, or wait. Oh, I thought this Guan was actually an ally. I'm coming back, boy. If I'm the CEO of Lilith and I get $100 million a year because like my game makes awesome profits, or yeah, makes awesome profits or revenue, whatever, and I get this big fat bonus check, then I keep it that way. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not gonna be a humanitarian giving up all my money and stuff. I want those $100 million, because that's exactly what is happening with Blizzard Activision, where World of Warcraft is a completely shitty game, and Shadowlands was probably the worst expansion ever. But during Shadowlands, the CEO of Blizzard has actually gotten, I think, like a $300 million bonus check, because the game did the right numbers. So I'm gonna be honest, if I was the CEO of Lilith and I did get a check like that because my game is doing numbers, is doing revenue, I'm not going to change shit. If people are stupid enough to spend that amount of money in the game, then so be it. Like, why would I give that up? So, there needs to be a change in philosophy and ambition. If Lilith wants this game to transcend the mobile market, which it cannot right now, there is a 0% chance. If they want this, yeah, they have to change all that stuff. That's also the reason why, you don't really have any really good esports games that are not basically free to play. You just don't have that, because money cannot be a factor in who is winning. You can have cosmetics, we all love them and stuff. I've spent like $2,000 on skins in League of Legends. You can have that. Nobody is going to complain, but you cannot have money dictate the outcome of a fight. So then we have the interface. So then one other thing I wanna mention is, like I said before, my girlfriend started basically playing the game in order to form resources for me. And what I then realized is the game doesn't teach you on how to play it. Like not at all. And that's kind of eh. Like you need either need experience with MOBA and RPG games, or you are screwed up, because you would have to watch hours and hours, well, days worth of videos just to learn the basics of the game. And even then, you're like afraid of mistakes all the time because you don't have all the context in the world. So I would actually add, have more hand holding. I mean, experienced gamers in general don't like too much hand holding. Like games like, I think there were some Assassin's Creed games, for example, where like all the time the game was telling you what to do, and that's just not fun. Like when the game tells you all the time where to go, what to do, and what could you do to make it easier and stuff like that. That makes for a relaxing game, but not for a challenge. So when you compare that to an RPG like Gothic, for example, that was completely unapologetic towards the player and was like, yeah, this is a cruel world, and it plays exactly like that. It's an absolutely amazing experience, but like the core mechanics of the game are being explained to you and you can figure it out. Like the game tells you what is the game able to provide to you in order to play it, and that's not the case in Rise of Kingdoms. And I would say Lilith should do a better job at that, because probably 99%, well, I would say more than 80% of Rise of Kingdoms player base are not experienced gamers. All throughout Rise of Kingdoms, I've met exactly one person who I would give really proper gamer credentials, and that was a player who was actually playing Challenger in League of Legends, which means he is in the like what 0.5 percentile of all League of Legends players. Not even, I think. I think it's like 0.4 percentile. But whatever. So, those people who are not having like extensive gaming experience, like yeah, sure, they need some hand holding. And I think yeah, Rise of Kingdoms should do a bit of a better job in providing exactly that. So then, what else? The spenders will spend. Yeah, true. And that's fine. Like I said before, like I do appreciate somebody like Baba, because like he allows other people to enjoy the game and have the game be developed, maintained, sustained. Like he is responsible for that. Like Baba himself did more for the game than every single free-to-play player combined. Because yeah, sure, they are bringing in other players because they are telling their friends, but no, they wouldn't, like none of them would play the game if it wasn't for the spenders making the development of the game possible. So I do appreciate spenders, but at the same time, like you cannot make the game about spenders. That's the issue. So then, this is a very personal thing, and it might not be like the most crucial thing ever, but commander design is shit. And what I mean by that is every single commander is basically the same in the game. You have a damage spell, you have some mostly irrelevant utility, and then you have some stat increase or stat increase towards the enemy. But every commander is basically the same. Like, there is no commander where you are like, oh no, I'm running away. No, like, yeah, sure, there is Pakal, but like, I'm sorry, I'm even killing Pakals. Yeah, sure, there is Pakal, he is one exception. And otherwise, it's all the same. So why do you not make it a bigger issue or like a bigger factor when somebody has like a movement impairing skill? You cannot make a movement impairing skill 20% because nobody is giving a shit, especially not a cavalry player, and the game is cavalry based. Like as a cavalry player, in 100% of all cases you have an advantage over everybody else because you are killing archer players and you can run away from infantry players if they actually win against you. So movement impairing skills should be at the very least 50%, and they should be more persistent than they actually are right now. So for example, I wouldn't mind having a movement impairing skill like a movement speed decrease of, let's say, 80% for 3 seconds or 50% for I don't know, 10 seconds. Because 10 seconds, what's that? That's like 2 skill rotations. The way it is right now, if you are super lucky, you get 1 skill rotation out of a movement impairing skill. So the other player doesn't know, but maybe doesn't know you have a movement impairing effect, but maybe they just don't care about it. So it's actually a misplay. They are fighting against you. But they are not even being punished because they can just walk away because the movement impairing effect is not significant enough. So, you know, that creates the scenario where everything is homogenized. Like everybody deals a bit of damage, everybody gets a bit of stats, and maybe you decrease other people's stats by like a fairly insignificant amount. And that's just fairly stupid, to be honest. Dots, for example. You could make dots a much bigger thing. Because now people have to think about, hey, do I actually want to run into the risk of not being strong enough to kill the other player? And if I'm not, or even if it's balanced, like I have to consider that I have this dot on me. So it might be the case that I'm winning, but I'm also being dead because I'm being killed by the dot after I killed the other player. You gotta make that stuff more significant. Because how much damage deals a dot? It's like 400 damage over the course of what, like 10 seconds or something. So why not make a dot deal, I don't know, 1500 damage, 2000 damage, 2500 damage. Make it more significant, make it impact how people play. Because that is what commander design should be, right? You should consider like, what do I want to do? It's even, you know, with Guan Yu, you're attacking anything, it doesn't matter because it's an AoE silence, which is stupid. Like you would, yeah, like it doesn't impact what the player is doing. Like if it's a considerable silence on a single commander, then it actually impacts what you are doing, because then you are not attacking freaking Trajan. Then you are actually attacking the Nevsky Joan of Arc March, right? It impacts what you are doing. Because this is another thing, the game has been the same ever since it came out in terms of what you are trying to do. People use the term meta, which doesn't make sense. There is no meta in Rise of Kingdoms. What you have been trying to do has always been the same. The only thing that changed is you are using more marches, and then you are swapping out your least compatible commander with the strongest commander, and that's all. The meta itself doesn't ever change, which I don't understand why there is like tier lists and stuff, because shit doesn't change. You're using the same commanders all the time. It would be a topic if commanders would receive constant changes and stuff like that. And that is my next point. Like, why are you trying to implement relics for commanders? Those things are so fucking stupid. I I don't know, like maybe 1 million, maybe 10,000, maybe 500,000 of the green currency, whatever that shit is called for the relics. I don't care because nobody cares. It's irrelevant content, right? The relics too are fairly irrelevant. Nobody cares about them. Like, people don't care about Ethelflaed having a relic. It doesn't change what you are doing. You are not going to attack or not attack an Ethelflaed because of the relic. So why, instead of, you know, doing stupid stuff like the relics that nobody cares about, why are you not changing the commander? And I'm not saying Ethelflaed should be the strongest commander in the game, but why are you not changing her to a point where she is actually relevant? And this doesn't only go for her. Like, let's say a more critical commander, Edward of Woodstock. People have put 690 sculptures into Edward, and he is, what, like pretty much the worst commander in the game? Which, you know, at that point I have to ask, like, why is he still in the game? Why are you not just deleting him? Because, like, that would be fair. And if a relic comes out that gives him 200 more skill damage and like 20% attack, like, I'm sorry, but nobody in the world will use him. The relic itself, again, is irrelevant. Just like all of them are right now. Nobody is using Al Cid, even though there is a relic. Nobody is using Charlemagne. Nobody is using Hannibal. Nobody is using Mehmed because of the relic. A lot of people are using him, and I did too until my next KVK. Then I will swap him out with Joan of Arc. But in general, nobody is using him for the sake of the relic. Nobody. Who else has a relic? Minamoto. Nobody is using him because of the relic. People are using him because they don't have an adequate replacement. Nobody was like, oh my god, I have a relic now, I'm going to use him, that's so good. Same goes for Tao Tao, and so on and so forth. So why are you not constantly tinkering the champions? And that way you could actually have a meta. Because now you could run into a situation where you have tanky commanders be really strong. You have Charles Martel, you have Harold, you have Richard, you have all those guys, you have maybe even Pakal, and they are strong. So now you have a dot meta where you try to dot those tanky marches but not actively engage in a fight against them. So basically what you do is you hit them until you apply the dots, and then you walk away and you have them bleed out. And then the dots are becoming so prevalent that people are going to start playing a dot meta. And now what you are doing now, obviously, is you are playing pretty much assassins. So quick marches that apply a lot of damage to kill those dot marches. And now you have an assassin meta, and now you have tanky marches be more important again. That's how you create a meta, and that's just not a thing in Rise of Kingdoms. It's stale, it's boring, it's the same shit for 4 years. You have the same marches, you have the same commanders over and over and over again, and it's boring. So that could be something they could look into. Make who you are playing more relevant, because right now nobody cares what commander you have. You are always attacking the same stuff. Then this whole thing also applies to equipment. Why is equipment so homogenized and so boring and like does absolutely nothing? Having equipment or not having equipment in the game would be exactly the same. Exactly the same. Because what you are trying to do with equipment is always the same. Like, if you have 2 players that have absolutely everything in the game, absolutely everything unlocked, both of them will have pretty much absolutely the same equipment, maybe minus 5% stats and plus 5% on another stat, because they think like maybe, I don't know, attack is more important than having so much health or whatever. But it's pretty much absolutely the same, so it does absolutely nothing. It does nothing. Now, how could you change that? You could have, for example, stuff like life leech on your, or life steal on your equipment. You could have movement impairing, like slowing other marches. You could have resilience towards movement speed. You could have a dot resilience, so damage over time effects are not as effective, for example. Or you could have like a super expensive piece of equipment that makes you immune to a damage over time effect. You could have stuff like that, and all of a sudden it really creates a meta, because now not everything is the same, and you have to react to what the other person is doing, because right now you don't. You are in an open field battle, and you attack whatever is near you. And sometimes, yeah, sure, you see a Ramses and you attack him, but you don't attack him because it's Ramses. You attack him because you know the person who is using him is not like a super high tier player. That's why he is using Ramses. So you are not attacking Ramses, you are attacking the player, because you know he is not full legendary. If he was full legendary, he would have Nebu or Boudica or whatever, right? So that's like just in general a thing where, I'm always saying, like, I have a bit of gaming bravado, definitely. There is no question about it. I'm a little bit arrogant, but that's because, like, I have better gaming credentials than 99.9% of all people in the world. So I am a little bit arrogant about that. And, people are always saying, like, yeah, well, like why do you have to reiterate this? And, then I'm asking, okay, if it's a problem that I'm reiterating this, why are people in Rise of Kingdoms claiming they are like gamers and they are like good gamers? Because there is not a good gamer in Rise of Kingdoms. Because again, all you are doing is you have your march, like you are sending out your march, your little Boudica with your Artemisia, and you are in an open field battle, and all you do is boom. That's it. You are attacking another march. You are not reacting to the stuff that is going on. It doesn't matter what equipment this person has. You see your skill go off, nice, and now I'm walking away because I don't want to be targeted, and that's it. Like, you don't have to know anything about the game, basically, and you can actually play without equipment and everything, because you can just stand here and wait for this march to be targeted by somebody, and then the march is 50% HP. Now I'm like, hey, I can actually go in and I can wait for 2 skill cycles and then I'm walking away. Like that's how you could actually play the game. So what exactly is good about this? And then, you could look at events. I have been in Diamond in Champions of Olympia twice, and I have done absolutely nothing for this. The only thing I did is I have spent more time in the event than other people. That is literally the only thing that I did. I didn't do more than other people. And it's not like League of Legends where I have to be like a super good mechanical player to like carry my team and everything. No, I just spent more time in the event, and that shouldn't be the case because it's not rewarding. I don't know. I would actually be interested to ask somebody like Chisco, like, does the game feel rewarding to watch you do? Because I cannot not see how the game could actually reward how you play on based on how you play it. Because what are you doing? You are doing the same thing as other people. The only thing you could do is when you press this button, you could press it harder than everybody else. And that's basically the only thing you could do. But attacking this is the same thing for everybody. Now, sure, the game rewards you for spending more money because now you can be more lavish with your resources and stuff, but that's not being a good player, that's being a strong player, right? So with, not homogenizing everything and stuff like that, you could make the game more appealing to an actual gamer community, and you could give it more creativity and be more vivid than it is right now, because everything in the game is absolutely homogenized. So that concludes, I guess, pretty much the biggest point that I have. I said commander design is shit, but I would say don't how do you spell homogenize? Is it like this? Don't yeah, homogenize. Yeah. Don't homogenize everything. Let's say it like this. This would, by the way, also make Arc of Osiris, like the tournament, be much more interesting. Because honestly, I don't think anybody is watching this shit. It's such a shit show. And if you see this, like how people react to stuff and yada yada, then all of a sudden it piques people's interest, because now it is interesting to see if you have this barbarian be a dot based barbarian like Tamiris, and this dot deals like 3000 damage over the course of like 25 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever it might be, or it deals, let me say, 5000 damage. I think this would actually be cool. 5000 damage over 25 seconds. This would be super interesting, because now you want to see, like, this barbarian, how does, let's say, oh, I don't have an open march. So let's say you have a Nevsky. How is a Nevsky dealing with this barbarian? This would be interesting, because everything else we have seen a million times and it's not interesting. It's not interesting to see how a Boudica fights against a Guan Yu. It is not interesting to see how a Nevsky fights against a Shang Yu. It's just not. And that is why I'm saying Rise of Kingdoms cannot transcend the mobile market. Like, I'm sorry, I know gamers, I know professional gamers, I know like casual gamers, I know single player or arcade gamers, and none of them would ever be interested in Rise of Kingdoms. Never. Unless they are looking for a pastime while they are waiting for like ranked queues and stuff like that. So then um get rid of irrelevant content. How much irrelevant content do we have in the game? And Lilith, by the way, is like really keen on creating more irrelevant content. Let me give you an example. You have the state forum, right? And here you have a travel. So you are sending out a commander that is, I don't know, doing something. I don't fucking know. I'm not reading stuff because it's just not interesting. So this commander is going somewhere, exploring stuff, and comes back with an ornament. So now you have irrelevant content over here. Expedition, which is basically what we talked just a second ago. A commander goes to travel, explore stuff, and come back with ornaments, which you could call an expedition, and you have an expedition right here. A completely irrelevant expedition. This has been in the game ever since its inception, and it has never changed. So why do you have the state forum and you have the expeditions when it's basically the same concept? So why did you not have the state? Why did you not have the whole ornament system be a part of the expedition and make the expedition relevant again? So yeah, sure, you have this shop. Even this shop, to some extent, is irrelevant. Because like you get this currency, I have 770,000 of it because I keep buying the Ethelflaed sculptures for whatever reason. I guess because I don't know. I actually don't ask me. Maybe it's like panic reaction. I don't fucking know. And then you get some resources and stuff here. That's cool, no question. But that's not content. That's not content you want to see in a game like Rise of Kingdoms. Like this system, this whole event, this whole expedition stuff, the only thing that is relevant about this is this right here. And you get, nice, a 5-minute training speed up. And let me make clear, I'm not like other people. I'm not like, give me everything for doing nothing. No, I always say Rise of Kingdoms is a free-to-play friendly game when you are willing to put in effort. And you are not a crybaby who says like, Chisco has more stuff than I do. Yeah, he basically spent a Ferrari, well, basically 2 Ferraris in the game to have all of that stuff. So obviously he has more than you have. And that is rightfully so. So if you spend effort in the game, you get stuff. But having the whole expedition for a 5-minute training speed up seems a bit stupid. So you could have implemented the state forum into the expedition and make the expedition interesting. But it's not. Then you have commanders. Since you are not, as I said, hingering on commanders, constantly changing them, improving and you know, or increasing, decreasing, like stats and whatnot, you have a whole lot of commanders that are completely irrelevant. And that is kind of stupid in a game that is so old and is actually so slow that is kind of being outpaced by the intercontinental drift. Now let's look at commanders that are irrelevant. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, let's say 3. Let's leave out Moctezuma. Let's say 3. Then you have who else do we have? Maybe some of the new commanders, I'm not sure about that. But then here we have 4, we have 5. So now I'm getting a call, no thank you. Let me reject this. So then we have Attila is kind of irrelevant. We have 7. So you see like half, maybe half. I guess half of the commanders are actually irrelevant, which is weird because again, the game is so slow, it is being outpaced by the intercontinental drift, so there's no real reason for this. I would understand it if there was a new commander every week, then yeah, sure, the game is so fast and so short-lived that eventually you are going to have commanders that are irrelevant for a moment. Not only this, but you also don't have a meta, like I pointed out 20 minutes ago. So you don't even have this reason, like League of Legends, where a commander is irrelevant for 4, 5, 6 months until the meta changes and shifts around, and all of a sudden somebody like a Renekton or a Teemo or a, I don't know, Hecarim all of a sudden is relevant again. What is other irrelevant content? Well, the midterm is super uninteresting unless you are in Fleisch's Discord and you get the free gems every weekend. I haven't done this in like half a year because, like, I'm sorry, but I cannot be bothered with answering the same questions over and over and over and over again. Like, yeah, at this point, I did understand that Florence Nightingale had the nickname the Lady with the Lamp. At this point, I understood this. Like, you know, like I don't want to keep answering this question. No, thank you. We have the Sunset Canyon, which gives really good rewards. I have never looked at, my placement and stuff. I'm just going here. I'm clicking on this. I'm clicking on OK, and I'm getting rewards for it. And pretty good rewards if you look at it. But the question is why? Like why why do you have this? Why do you have a ranking and everything, but like the actual crucial part is just doing it? You don't even get really anything for winning here. It doesn't make sense. You see, I did get exactly the same. It doesn't make sense. Like, what is this for? Because, I mean, Buster is our whale. And obviously he's going to be first place. It's also very obvious that the wolf guys are place 2 and 3. This will not change. And it will not change anything in terms of rewards and whatnot. It will not change if I am able to somehow, for once, actually win against them. That is not going to change anything. So this is also irrelevant content. The only thing that matters about this whole Sunset Canyon stuff is when I'm clicking those 2 buttons and I get these rewards. And once again, the same rewards. So that's kind of boring. For talking about irrelevant content, we can also look at Champions of Olympia. Lilith has an incentive to keep people in the game for as long as possible. That is why, for example, for no other reason do you have to claim your gem supply every single day. This is literally the one single reason. This is also why we have those really stupid travels where you have to click on a button for 19 times to get absolutely shitty ornaments. That is the reason, basically. So then, what you could do to actually make things interesting and keep people in the game, why is Champions of Olympia an event that takes place only on weekends? I don't see a reason for this. Why is Champions of Olympia not a constant, permanent event with a ranking system where you get rewards after the grade reset on Sunday to Monday? I don't see a reason for this, because then people would actually be in the game more and they would play Champions of Olympia more. Because this is the weekend we are talking about, and people have kids and people, have shit to do. And maybe the weekend is exactly the one period of time where they don't want to be in the game. Which is also the reason why in many kingdoms you actually don't have people playing a lot of Ark of Osiris, because it's the weekend. They want to be outside with friends and not be inside in Rise of Kingdoms. So I don't understand why Champions of Olympia is not a permanent event. And if you made Champions of Olympia a little better, people would play it a lot. But it's shitty, and that brings me to my next point. And this is the one point where I'm definitely most passionate about. Lilith is incompetent in implementing events properly. And, well, actually content. Just general content. So now, let's say ornaments, Champs of Olymp, equip, What else? What else do we have? We have Crystal Tech. We have basically all events. Basically all of them. But let's keep it to these points. So the ornaments, people don't like them. But the ornaments themselves are pretty good. Like the idea itself, the idea is pretty good. Like I don't think anybody has an issue with the basic idea of ornaments. The issue we have is how they implemented the system, where it is so RNG that I check my ornaments maybe every 4 weeks. And then, I try to find out if I have something to change. Like I cannot be bothered to try and keep up with my ornaments. And I would assume that goes for most people. And most people are not happy with, having to send out their traveler 19 times or whatever times a day and getting back like completely shitty stuff that is again irrelevant. I usually recycle my ornaments, but we can look at what we have. So this is what we have, and I'm using only 3 times 4 on ornaments, but this is what I have. And all of this is completely irrelevant. This is stuff that I would give away for 100 gems. Like if you want all my ornaments for 100 gems, I would definitely do it. 100%. But it doesn't only go for ornaments. Champions of Olympia is a good event. And they implemented it in a okay-ish way. Again, I don't see a reason why it is specific to weekends. I don't know why. If you would have it a permanent event, people would actually play it more. And here is the issue. Why do you implement Champions of Olympia and then just have it sit there forever and not do anything with it? Champions of Olympia has been the same since its inception. They added 2 maps. One of them is exactly the same map, just at night, and you have the thief. And then the basically capture the flag map that is like capture the flag domination crossover map. And nothing else changed. The rewards are the same, the rankings are the same, everything is the same. This goes with pretty much everything. So Rolly Crisis been the same, Golden Kingdom been the same, Ian's Ballads been the same. Everything keeps being the same. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that in some way, shape, or form is being changed or being developed. And I don't understand why, because again, the game is so slow. It is so freaking slow that I don't understand why there is like no like vivid life in development. You could have, as I said before, Champions of Olympia being constant. Like let's make a bigger point. I said with the commanders, there is no meta. The commanders are always, they are stale. Every commander is basically the same. Now, if you would have a Champions of Olympia that is permanent, that is permanently available, and you get good rewards every Saturday to Monday on the reset, but you would also have those commanders that are like now super interesting, and they are super, relevant. They do significant stuff. They don't do just deal damage, give some stat increase, and maybe, like, I don't know, do something irrelevant like a movement impairing skill that nobody cares about in this game. But it would be interesting if, again, if we had a great variety in commanders and have them do significant stuff. Now, Champions of Olympia would be super interesting. Because you could try all of this out, you could, and you would have to react to a much quicker playstyle than KVK, where it almost resembles something that an actual MOBA is doing, like League of Legends or Dota. And then you could have Champions of Olympia have like a 10 map rotation. Because like why don't you have more maps? Like there might be a reason, and I would understand if you say like we want to keep it a little more, like so people know what they are getting into. That is fair enough. But if you make it a bigger thing, if you make Champions of Olympia a bigger thing, you could have a, let's say, 6 to 10 map rotation. Like every week you have like 3 maps in rotation. And now it becomes interesting because like you have those great commanders, you have to react to what other people do. You have this map rotation, so you keep things interesting. You have great rewards for the weekly reset. And the most important thing is, as I said before, there's no reason for you to be able to have a pre-made group and queue into randoms. This is stupid. This doesn't work in gaming. Like if you did something like this in League of Legends, the game would be dead. Like this is, I have never seen this before. So if you change this, people would actually maybe, if the event became something bigger, they could be interested in actually pushing ranks in Champions of Olympia, and you could make it maybe be more interesting than Ark of Osiris. And again, Ark of Osiris is not interesting. Like having the tournament be streamed on YouTube and having like 1,000 people watching is pathetic if you consider how, or like the size of the game. It's pathetic. Then you have equipment. So looking at equipment, you have all of this stuff, right? You have the sets here. You have a set here for cavalry that is completely irrelevant. Because it is only for people who are weak and they don't have the ambition to become strong. Because obviously fairly quickly you are going to replace this, or maybe never. Maybe you are going to use this forever. Then fair enough. But this is when people don't have the ambition to be stronger. Now, if you have the ambition to be stronger, you have quite literally only one piece of equipment for each slot. That is what you basically have. And that's kind of stupid. Because it means all of this stuff is basically irrelevant because it caters to people who don't have like stronger ambitions. Right? So for everybody else, this is irrelevant content. But it also means you have no variety on the top end. Everybody has the same stuff. Like the most interesting thing that maybe could happen is somebody has a concealed dagger instead of a Ring of Doom. That is literally the most interesting thing that could happen with equipment. And that's stupid. Because again, it renders equipment obsolete. The only thing it does it makes a better it creates a bigger power gap between tier 5 and players and everybody else. So with tier 5 players, I mean like really strong players and everybody else. That's the only thing it does. But between tier 5 players, if Chisgul is fighting against Baba, they could actually fight naked. The equipment doesn't make a difference because they have the same equipment. Well, actually, if I'm not wrong, Chisco doesn't have leadership equipment. So let's say Maverick against Baba. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it's stupid. And even then, the equipment probably wouldn't make a difference, because like maybe one of them has one horn more than the other. But you get where I'm going. Like, the difference is so minuscule that it basically doesn't make a difference. It doesn't really make a difference on if they are fighting naked or with equipment. And that's stupid. Then we have, of course, Crystal Tech. So yeah, I basically talked about it a whole lot on my free-to-play friendly video. So I guess I don't have to do that again. Um, like I said before, Crystal Tech completely skews up the matchmaking rating. It doesn't make sense. But for Lilith to make any kind of change, it would need a change in philosophy. And with that being said, I also want to point out one thing. Lilith has published those videos from like a meeting where they meet with people and they talk to people. And if you think this is real, you are really fucking stupid. If you think, especially in Asian, and I'm sorry to say this, I know this is not being racist, because being Asian is like, Asian is not a race, okay? So shut the fuck up, SJW. An Asian company comes over to Europe and has this like community meeting where developers and like front office is meeting with casual governors and talks to them about their issues with the game, then you are really fucking stupid. Think about what happens when you yourself go to that meeting and sit in that room. What are you going to try to ask them? Definitely not the questions that people at these meetings apparently ask them. If I'm sitting in there, I'm asking, okay, which one of you wants to have their shit kicked in? I'm asking them, hey, how much money does your CEO make? I'm asking them, hey, when are you changing the monetization? I'm asking them questions that provokes a reaction. I'm not going to ask them fucking like, at what point can we like turn around the building so we can have our dream layout. Like, nobody would ever ask that in a meeting with Lilith developers. If you think this shit is real, then you are really fucking stupid and you have absolutely no idea about the gaming culture or like business practices in general. Like, you just have to think about all the disgruntled people that would actually insult the developers and stuff like that. Like, this shit doesn't work. Obviously they are going to invite a couple very specifically handpicked people, and they give them a list of stuff they are not being allowed to talk about. That's how it works. If you think it is any different from that, you're really fucking stupid, and I mean that with all my heart. Now here's the issue. Like, Lilith, like, who gives you feedback? Because it's definitely not the community. The whole face-to-face stuff, like, it is like me. I have said this before. It is like me standing in front of the mirror asking myself why I'm so fucking beautiful. Because you are always only answering questions where you have a good response to. That is all you are doing. Like, you are never like, hey, no, we are not going to change the monetization, because that's what people want to know. That's what people, other than maybe people like Chisco, because they need this to be interesting, because that's why they they stream their fighting. People want to see what they themselves cannot do. That's his whole shtick. He loves the fact that you have to spend money in the game. But that's not a community. The community doesn't want that. The fact they are watching him do it doesn't mean they themselves want to do it. No, they want it changed. They want to be able to do the same things. So they want the monetization to be changed. That is stuff we want to have answered. So, with that being said, like my point is, like at what point or at which time will Lilith actually come out and respond to stuff that maybe is not so comfortable to respond to? Because like I'm not a child, okay? I'm not a fucking toddler. And I don't need like stupid people like Lilith to act like they are my friends, because they're fucking not. Like I don't give a shit about Lilith. But I don't want to be gaslit into thinking that Lilith cares about me. They don't care about me, I don't care about them, and that's a fair deal. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this game is so amazing, and Lilith, I really love you for this change. And hey, Lilith, maybe we can talk about some other things. No, I'm not going to do that. And I would expect the same thing from them. Like, I don't want to be manipulated into thinking they give a shit. Like, be honest with your stuff. And I think if Lilith was more honest and more outcoming with stuff that is not so comfortable, then people would also be more forgiving for their mistakes. Because you are not being ignored and tried to be manipulated with this whole... Did I get this stuff yesterday again? This whole VIP stuff. Like, what the fuck? Lilith, like, I don't want to be a VIP. I don't. Because as far as I know, and it says here, WhatsApp, I'm not going to fucking add you on WhatsApp. You are not a fucking Tijuana hooker who I'm adding on WhatsApp. You are a game developer. Why the hell would I add you on WhatsApp? That is child's play. People in kindergarten do this, and not a game developer. Which, just a little backhand on at this point. This wouldn't surprise me if Lilith was actually owned by Tencent. But they are not. Again, why would you want your player base to add you on a WhatsApp number? But here's the weird thing. Every now and then, I actually get a gift code for VIP members, but I'm not a VIP member. And I get this in the game with a mail. Here is a VIP gift code, yada yada, only for VIP members. I'm not a VIP. I don't want this. I don't want this gift code. And just to make this clear, I have never actually claimed those rewards, not even once. And I never will. So yeah, actually that kind of concludes everything. Want to make one thing clear. I think I'm pretty much the only Rise of Kingdoms YouTuber that uses profanity and stuff. That is not because I'm emotional or like I hate Lilith or whatever. No, it is because I'm passionate about gaming. But the important thing is, like, I'm still rational. Like, I would not let my passion like dictate my logic, right? Like, I'm gonna talk about things that I think are important. And when I'm using profanity, it is because, like, I'm talking the way I'm talking in real life. Like, I'm not gonna change the way I'm talking. Like, if Lilith is like, oh, this kind of insults us, yeah, like, guess what? I don't give a shit about your feelings. Like, make a good game. And your feelings, I don't give a shit about. Like, why would I care about your feelings? Like, make a good game. Just like you don't care about my feelings. Just why, you're sending me all this gaslighting manipulation shit, like VIP stuff and like face to face with the developers. Dude, we cannot even get face to face. You 5 foot nothing motherfuckers would need a ladder to get face to face with me. So, just, to make this clear, like, I'm not swearing and using profanity because, like, I'm emotional or something. No, it is because, giving weight to my arguments and stuff like that. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to edit this and cut this into a video and then upload it on YouTube. Um, there is like millions of things that I kind of want to point out. Like, this is like a really small fraction of the stuff that I wish Lilith would think about and change and whatnot. But the main issue is always like, we don't know if they even want to do this. Like, we don't know if they have the ambition. Like, they could be completely fine with where the game is, and that would be fair. Like, if you don't want to change that, if you don't have the ambition to go further, then that is fine. That is fair. That is your choice. You can do that. Like, it's kind of like, to give a very, very good example, it is like with Valve. They made Half-Life, and the greatest mystery in gaming probably is Half-Life 2. Or is it Half-Life 3? Half-Life 2, right? When is it coming out? And apparently it's never going to come out. And I think that's fair. I think that's fine. Like, why do you have the expectancy that Valve would make this game? Like, you are not entitled to it. And the same goes for Rise of Kingdoms. Like, why would we expect the crystal tech to change? And if we are not fine with it, then just go to another game. That is like how you do it. The problem is, again, that Lilith tries and pretends they care. That is why we think they have like higher ambitions and they want to make a good game and want to make a game that kind of caters to our like ideas, right? That is the reason. So the ball is actually in your park and you have to make a play. And this is me talking to Lilith. Like, the ball is in your park. You have to make a play. And if you don't care, then stop pretending. Because, like, you don't have to be surprised to be like insulted and stuff when you are pretending and trying to manipulate and stuff. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, this became much longer than I originally thought. But yeah, thank you for watching.